Guys, do I really overreact? Give me an advice. I am going no contact with my best friend. I, 28F, was friends with 30F since 2018. We were incredibly close. We hung out relatively often in the beginning and talked almost every day. The past few years, I've had a couple issues with how she has treated me as a friend, primarily starting when I was with my ex, whom we will call John. So John and I started dating in 2022. The second she finds out I am talking to this guy with no info on him besides his name, she tells me, "Oh, run far away from him. I was essayed by a guy with the same name." Which, granted, I am no longer with this person for a multitude of reasons, but other than sharing a name with her abuser, he would not hurt a fly. Then she opened her own relationship up. Honestly, saying she opened her relationship up is generous. She met a woman on social media and started sexting her before proposing the idea to her boyfriend, whom was dealing with the death of a parent at the time. She introduced this woman to her children before she proposed opening her relationship up to her boyfriend. Once she opens her relationship up, she asks me if she can practice fingering me, so she's experienced for this girl. When I say no and that both John and I are uncomfortable with her even asking, that she gets defensive and says she was just kidding, yet makes more sexual comments towards me despite expressing my discomfort. Telling me her dominant arm is getting muscular from masturbation, asking for nudes, grabbing my breasts, etc. My uncle also passes away in 2023, and she doesn't check on me for 2+ weeks despite knowing how close we were. She also stays in contact with multiple people that I had falling outs with, which I wasn't completely comfortable with because I know she has a tendency to gossip, but I don't say anything because I feel like it's not my place. John and I break up, and I am in a relatively rocky situationship that I unfortunately suffer a miscarriage during this time, which she also ignores me while I am going through this. Overall, she just is not very supportive, but I also acknowledge that not all friends are good with that kind of stuff, so I take it with a grain of salt. Fast forward to a few months ago, I start dating a guy that she immediately doesn't like because of his religion and ethnicity. He's Muslim and North African. He goes to visit family in Morocco, and despite knowing how bad my anxiety is, she proceeds to go on about how he's probably marrying his cousin and that he's going to be done with me and all this stuff. She also says I should just call ICE on him, which I immediately get defensive when she says that, and she brushes it off as her just joking. Yet, she also said the same thing about my mother and said she should go back to Guatemala. We're Hispanic but not Guatemalan.